Alrighty. This is gonna be my first live, not in my usual spot, but while traveling. So this is just going to have to make do. Um, I wanted to do it outside, but it is what it is. We're gonna do it inside. Plus, outside is very hot right now. So, as some of you know, I'm in Costa Rica. So, yeah, I still wanted to continue this. And I don't know. I hopefully it doesn't look as grainy as it does for me right now. But again, it is what it is. The most important thing here is the message and what you guys can expect this week. Um, in general, it does feel like a lot of you are coming to a decision point of like where you're going and what you're going to be doing, because it's interesting because I have been feeling into that. I feel like a lot of people at this time are just they're wondering like what choice to make and what path to take, because I feel like at this time there's being a lot of things presented to people, a lot of men, a lot of options, a lot of different opportunities. And it's like if it's not being presented, it's like people are thinking about it. People are thinking about like, okay, do I do this path or this path, or do I go this, like there's just so many things up in the air right now where you guys are all considering that, thinking about it, and you know, trying to feel what's right for you. And I feel like that's very significant to the time that we are headed in, which is, you know, the year of the fire horse, which again, I think that starts like February 16th or 17th. And what, it's the 9th. So it's like we're a few days away from that. And so I think it's it's very much aligned to where we're headed. So that's kind of the main thing, which we'll get more into that. But I'm gonna start out with one of the first things I wrote, which is really cool, and I feel like I'm gonna do a separate message about this. Is that for those of you calling in love, you're wanting someone, you're ready for that, you are currently being manifested. So instead of like you manifesting somebody else, which I feel like again a lot of you are aligned and you know what you want, a lot of you have let go of like needing for that to come in. So it's like now the opposite can happen because you've already set out your intentions, you already know what you want. And now it's like this other person is manifesting you. So right now it's like you yourself are being manifested by somebody. Okay? Again, for those of you calling in love, you know what you want. You know what you want. The opposite is happening, and I also feel like this is very relevant to like the new year of 2026, of the year of the fire horse, where it's like magic is going to start to happen. So just there's nothing that you have to do. Okay, there's nothing that you have to do. You've already done your part. You've already sent out your manifestations and your intentions. Now the opposite needs to happen. It's like the other side of the magnet needs to magnetize you now. Okay, so just enjoy the ride. Follow your heart, follow your intuition, and allow yourself to be guided to this person, because it truly does feel like for a lot of you, you guys are going to meet in such a beautiful, divine, synchronistic way. So let it happen. Okay. Next thing I wrote was, which makes sense. A lot of us are just coming to an end of a cycle. Again, this is aligned with coming into the year of, the fire horse. So, whatever you need to let go of, let it go gracefully. And there has been a theme here of like some of you really do need to let go of a relationship to make room for a new relationship and a new cycle, new chapter. So it's not going to be relationship for everybody, but it's just bizarre how many people are debating their own relationship and weighing out options of like, okay, does this really suit me? Does this really fit me? Is it aligned to where I'm going? Because again, these past couple weeks, couple months, couple of I want to say years as well, there has been a refinement of who we are, of who we truly are in the inside and where we're going, what we want to do, what we want to create. And that needs to be in alignment with the people around us, right? Not just friends, but also like a romantic relationship. So my thing is like if you guys have been questioning your relationship, your job, something in your life, whether you should be holding on to a certain person or a certain job or a certain thing, that right there is telling you that it's not aligned. Because if it was aligned, why would you question it? Why would you question something that's aligned? Right? Think about the things that truly do resonate with you. You don't question them. You just freaking know that that's the path that you need to walk on, you know? You don't question it. If anything, you might question like, how am I going to build this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to bring this into fruition? But if you're questioning whether something's aligned for you or not, or if it needs to stay in your life or not, you already know that's your answer. And some of you are looping into these like mental loops really of like, do I need this? Do I want this? Is this aligned? Am I selfish? Am I da 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 da? You gotta stop looping. You have to stop because it's what's happening. It's like an argument with the heart and the mind, and it's this constant back and forth. But your heart knows, your intuition knows. It's time to start listening to that because this is how you end the cycle. This is how you end the chapter that's meant to end. Because it does truly feel like for those of you that can't decide, don't know how to end it, it will be ripped away from your hands eventually. Eventually. One way or another, if it's not meant for you, it will be removed to make space for the new. Okay, so this week also concentrate on maintaining balance. Maintain balance. I don't know about you guys, but I am starting to feel the energy amping up. And I had been feeling that for the last couple of weeks of the energy kind of from it being stagnant and slow and like just peaceful to it kind of moving into more of a fiery energy. It doesn't mean you're gonna go from stagnancy to like 100% energy, go 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 go. No. It's again energy likes to like blend, right? It's a slow process, right? And if you're sensitive, you could feel it. You can feel the stagnancy into moving into like this increase of energy, which again, from the stagnancy, it is great. It's great. It's great to start feeling that. But sometimes when we feel that energy, we want to like really push it. We want to get scattered and do too much, right? Because it's like we haven't done anything for a while and now it's like we want to do too much. So just brace yourself, let yourself be like initiated into that energy, into that like fiery action energy. Just okay, what I'm seeing is like pretend you're in the river, and instead of before, a lot of people were swimming against the current, which just causes a lot of like you're wasting a lot of energy, right? And it's a lot harder, obviously. If you're swimming against the current, it's a lot harder. And a lot of you have been learning to surrender to the current and just flow with the current, right? But you know how like at times this river is very slow and steady, right? That's kind of how it's been feeling like the last couple of months. It was very slow, very steady, like a lazy river, right? All you have to do is lie back, surrender, and let it carry you. But now it just feels like the river is slowly picking up the momentum, right? So that's what I'm saying. Is like don't override the momentum, you know? Don't be like, okay, well, now I'm gonna get too much in my action energy and start like fucking, swimming towards more momentum. It's about gracefully letting go and and going with the momentum instead of pushing the momentum, okay? So because because of a lot of you are feeling that you could want to push, don't push. Maintain balance. Especially when there's going to be so many options, so many opportunities, so many pathways opening up for you. Just maintain the balance within your like feminine and masculine energies, okay? You guys, it really does feel like a lot of you have been training for like how to work and blend these energies, right? You guys have been really have been getting a crash course in the feminine energy of surrender, of trust, of believing in the unknown, of listening to your heart. And the masculine is like what takes that inspired action to make it happen. And right now it's about blending the two together, working with the two together. So it's like the feminine receives the impulse, receives the ideas, the inspiration, the kind of like the inspiration, so then the masculine can go and take action on it, right? So don't overdo the masculine by like, okay, well, I'm not getting any intuitive impulse, so now I have to create my own. No, 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 no. You're learning how to work with the two, how to be in the unknown and waiting for the answer, waiting for you to receive the answer so that when you receive, you can make the right action. Okay, this is really about like in a way conserving your energy, not overdoing it. So just be mindful of that. Again, this is new for a lot of people, so be mindful. Are you finding yourself wanting to do too much, to push too much, to force things too much? If that's the case, you have to take a step back. You have to take a step back into surrender, into trust. And when you do, that's when you'll get the intuitive download, the impulse, the inspiration, where then you can go ahead and take the right action towards it. Okay? And you'll know if you're out of balance, because if you're out of balance, you're going to feel scattered, you're going to feel exhausted, you're going to feel burnt out, you're going to feel like you're pushing too much. Do not push. This is your time to to savor, to savor. I've been talking about this for some time, guys. It's to savor this next season, this next era, this next portion of your life, is just to savor it. And how you savor it is when you're in the moment, is when you trust in the unknown, and you're just enjoying what life has to offer. That's how you savor. And then, oh my God, that's when you'll start to like have so much magic come into your life. Truly, like so much magic where it's going to be like you didn't have to push too much and all these beautiful miracles and things are coming up for you. So balance, okay? Okay, I did mention this, but like some of you are deciding between two or several options. It really feels like I've been talking about this too. It's crazy. I've been feeling into this. I feel like I felt into this like months ago where there's going to be things opening up for you, where there's going to be this option, that option, this opportunity, this person, that person. Like, whew, there's going to be a lot, okay? And it could be that this week it's like, yeah, this is opening up for you, and you could feel like there's so many directions, right? Let me see. This is what it feels like when there's like an end of a cycle and you need to decide. Like you need to decide what pathway to take. And I've mentioned that this was on my last live actually. So I want to almost say go back to that live because I did say like you're really going to have to draw inwards and almost disconnect from all the options to make sure that you're making the right decision for yourself in terms of what option, right? Okay. Once you decide, things will move fast on this new path, which offers joy, stability, happiness, and nurturance. You guys know intuitively what choice, what path, what direction to pick. Don't let yourself be overwhelmed by those decisions, okay? And also, I'll just mention, because I mentioned this on my last live, when you do disconnect from all those pathways, decisions, opportunities, if you disconnect just to make sure that you're deciding from a pure-hearted place, if any of those options drop out, don't feel bad. They were meant to drop out. If anything, that's a great thing because then you get to decide whatever is left over. And most likely that's the pathway and the direction that you actually wanted to walk on was whatever was left, okay? Nothing can miss you. If something is meant for you, nothing can miss you, okay? Okay, next thing I wrote was make sure to nurture yourself this week, which goes along with the balance, right? Because if you treat yourself in the best way possible, you pour that energy, that self-love, that self-care into yourself. As above, so below, as within, so without. I say this all the time, right? Because if you do that within yourself, you're going to start attracting things outside of you that are only going to offer you the best quality, right? Best amazing opportunities, the best people. And it's because you're that energy, you're embodying that energy yourself. So just make sure you balance and you take care of yourself first, because then you could produce the most amazing, I don't know, piece of art, or be of service, or a partner to somebody else, is when you take care of yourself first. Okay, I touched on this earlier, but yeah, some of you are leaving toxic or just bland relationships that don't offer any growth. I mentioned this earlier. For those of you, like a lot of you guys are just reflecting on like, does this relationship offer me any growth, right? If it's toxic, obviously end it. But if it's bland, is that what you deserve? Is that what you deserve to experience in life for the rest of your life? Relationships and life itself are offered to us so that we can grow, that we can know ourselves better, right? And we can experience life with another and just get to know deeper aspects of ourselves and life, right? I truly do believe like you need to be with someone who's aligned and you're willing to grow with. If that person's not willing to grow, I mean, that's what you get. It's just kind of like a bland relationship and that's it. And anyway, when one person wants to grow and the other one doesn't, that starts to end. Yeah, and some of you are leaving chaser runner dynamics, which is so important. Like, don't even entertain yourself with that. And I even wrote, yeah, even if it's a feeling of like a push pull, so that's the decision of like, what do I do? Do I stay? Do I go? Type of thing, whether it's in terms of a relationship or a job. So a lot of you will be receiving clarity and finally deciding like what you're going to do. And I do feel like a lot of you are leaving. You're leaving this like, okay, if I can't make a decision whether I want to stay or want to go, like clearly you know you need to go, because why are you even considering that? Why are you even considering that? It's your time to leave. It's your time to end the cycle and move on, you know? Um Creativity is increasing for some of you, actually. More inspirations, more ideas, more creative expressions, using your voice to make an impact. Oh, and I love this. I love this. And this makes so much sense with that energy picking up that I mentioned, right? If that increase of energy is coming into you, obviously you're going to have more inspired ideas, more creativity, more, yeah, like inspired ideas and actions to take on what you're doing, what you're here to offer to this world. Okay, new opportunities, which makes sense, new opportunities, new jobs. But I wrote with an increase of finances. A lot of you, and trust me, I know, a lot of you have been in kind of like a dry season when it comes to finances. It's been slow. I get it. There's been a lot of us in that. And it does feel like there's going to be a lot more opportunities, a lot more. It could be job offers or whatever it is that you're here to create. Maybe it's through your own business and you finally start seeing an uptick. You finally start gaining more wealth, more resources. So it does feel like it's just rebalancing. Remember, when we're on one opposite end of like the pendulum of, let's say it's been a dry season in terms of like finances for a while, or it's been stagnant, right? Maybe you haven't had any job offers. It can't stay there. Like it can't. Energy has to move. So the pendulum has to swing the other way, which is again why I have been talking a lot about so many opportunities coming towards you guys. It really can be the case where this week or in the next following weeks, where it's like so many opportunities are going to be coming to you, which yes, it's great, but it can cause you to be overwhelmed. So just listen to the heart to make the best decision for you. But it does feel like finances are going to be rebalancing. Okay. I also wrote down you could just be meeting someone where you're building something new with someone, like a partnership or a collaboration, which then would increase, the finances. Okay, I wrote down destined travel is still in the air. For some of you, yeah, you're traveling to a place where it's very sacred. Maybe that will ignite your passion, your creativity, your drive. It'll give you clarity on what you need to do and where you're going, what you're here to create in life. So yeah, follow the impulse, okay? especially if it's been pinging at you for a while. Yeah, a time to be listening to your intuition and nervous system when deciding anything in your life. Yeah, a lot of you are learning this and you're learning to lean into it. You're also learning boundaries and you're stopping pleasing others. Like, it's like your no becomes sacred, but also your yes becomes sacred. So it's like you know what feels good in your body, and you know whether this is like a no or a yes. And you're learning to be like, this isn't good for me, so we're gonna make a boundary here. And again, it's not to cause anyone harm. It's just if you know that's your capacity and you can't offer or give anymore, you guys are creating boundaries and you're sticking with them. Basically, you're stopping over pleasing because you yourself have to be taken care of first in order to give the best quality to anyone else or anything else. Okay, and there's also an increase of intuitive and psychic abilities for some of you. Okay, and I did mention this earlier, but it just kept coming up that some of you are being pulled into so many different places, thoughts, decisions, opportunities, and it's scattering and confusing you. So slow down, ground, and listen to your intuition. I was mentioning this earlier. Yeah, you may be plugged into too many things at this time, like people, decisions, and this week corrects that. Your energy is sacred and you can't be pulled into too many things at this time. Like, you can't. Yeah, this has to do with like people pleasing, wanting to offer everyone everything, and you just can't. You can't. This is why I was saying your no becomes sacred and your yes becomes sacred. You're feeling into what deserves your time and your energy, and you're using your intuitive abilities to make that decision. So yeah, listen to that again. Like I said, it does feel like majority of this week is making those decisions, but making it from a very sacred place and feeling into what will best serve you and the path that you're walking on. It's not a selfish thing. It's just like what's aligned for you at this time and who is aligned for you at this time. And you guys are getting clear about that. So it's a week that is like it just recenters everything that's too scattered, which is great. Alrighty. Numbers coming up was 11, 2, 7, 5, and 1. So 11, alignment, balance, and union. 2, relationships and choice. 7, inner work, wisdom, and intuition. 5, change, freedom. And 1, new cycle / beginning. 2 animals coming up this week was the turtle and the cat. So the turtle is all about being grounded wisdom, ease, pace, nervous system regulation, and long-term vision. And the cat is about sovereignty, intuition, magnetic self-containment. And together, what this to me was feeling like was move slowly, but move from self-trust to be grounded and autonomous. And I wrote down 2 questions you guys can be asking yourself this week is 1, where am I still reaching outward for reassurance instead of trusting my own center, my own intuition? And the second question, what stabilizes me so deeply that I no longer need to chase connection? Oof, oof, especially that second one. Alrighty, guys, that is that. Remember, you already know the answer. Your heart knows the answer. Your intuition knows the answer. If you're questioning if something is for you, it's most likely not for you, because you wouldn't be questioning it. And for those of you still waiting for these opportunities and these pathways, oh, they're coming. Oh, they're coming, and they might also leave you a little bit scattered. So just remain grounded, remain centered, trust your intuition, and ask. Ask for signs if you need signs. But also, if you keep asking for signs, just also ask yourself, like, how many more signs do I need? Like, how much is too much? Before it's like, okay, you just have to make the leap. And I know making the leap, making the decision can be very, very scary, but at the same time, it's very freeing, because it's like you finally decide and you move towards that pathway, that decision. And now it's just walking that path, and letting that path to continue to unfold. Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna leave you with that. I really hope the audio and everything was like good. I know it's like very different to literally a week ago where I was, but I had to work with what I got. And like I said, I feel like if I did it outside, I feel like my laptop would have overheated. Like, it's already starting to get hot. So I am going to the beach to enjoy Costa Rica. And yeah, I'm sending you guys so much love. And I will see you next week. Have a good one. And thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining me live, and anyone else who watches after. Truly appreciate your energy. Have a great week.